Choksey is with us, so let's get the conversation going with Deven. Deven, good morning. Actually, since we are on this subject, if we could toss that question to you, like the analyst was also pointing out that companies which are engaged in metro works, I mean, they still have a lot of work coming their way, but road awards, road construction has been muted. Within the infra basket, what are the themes, what are the sort of names that you like?
Yes, sir. Good morning. Well, I don't think that I think it's a permanent kind of a halt. Maybe I think you can blame it to the monsoon factor for the construction activity. But overall, I guess I think the allocation of money has already happened by the government, and as a result of it, the contracts are also being awarded. So, in my viewpoint, I think the execution part on the infrastructure side, I am not at all pessimistic on that. On the contrary, I feel that I think it is going to be significantly up in the second half of the financial year. On the infrastructure per se, I think where our focus is largely, I think the power sector, utilities, the transmission line business looks, I think, relatively more safe in the near term. At the same time, the companies which are into the expansion mode, particularly in the areas of solar as well as in the wind, I guess I think those companies are relatively playing a better role at this point of time. Even companies like Tata Power, I think, placing a significantly large amount of order for the wind turbines is also that also means that I think some of the engineering companies which are supplying these particular components, likes of Suzlon, likes of Siemens, I think they may probably be in a better position. So yes, I think we are selectively bullish on some of the companies, including likes of Tata Power, where we see a gradual higher amount of renewable coming into play and good amount of growth happening on that one.
Hi Deven, good morning and good to see you. Deven, what about Trent? They're saying they're looking at the lab-grown diamond space. Yesterday, the market just grabbed it. The market capitalization added on Trent yesterday was more than 20,000 crores. That used to be the company's entire market cap, in 2020 odd. So that's the kind of move that you're seeing. Valuations are not cheap, but the street still likes what they're seeing. And also now it's part of the key index, which is Nifty. So those flows continue. Your take?
Yeah, Nigel, good morning. Well, I believe that I think absolutely clear that this company is trying to address the mass market through the studio format that they have created. And in each and every area of activity where I think they can tap the affordable market segment, they are getting into it. You mentioned about lab-grown diamond. I think it's one area which is waiting to grow. This is the classic industry. I think as against the natural diamond, the lab-grown diamond is being attracting the young consumers who are basically having a relatively smaller spending wallet as far as I think their ability to spend is concerned. Those guys' aspirations are not small, and I think that's where probably this company is stepping them well. In my viewpoint, I think of course the success and all would depend on the time. But in my viewpoint, I think this company is systematically making a good move in tapping the mass market format, and that is where probably I think one can argue that the growth is going to continue. Whether I think it is adequately going to be reflecting into the profits immediately, the answer may be no. And at the same time, I think whether this growth is fully priced in at this point of time, answer is yes. So in my viewpoint, I think the market is a little bit more excited at this point of time. Probably valuations are at a premium level. Maybe we do not know, I think, when the time or price correction takes place in these kind of counters. But yes, I think as and when it happens, this is a good opportunity to get into.
Surabhi, I'm no jewelry expert. You could trust me on that. but I'll tell you what, if the concern was that lab-grown is, cheap or it's not really diamonds, etc., a brand like Tata's coming in. And I think more than anything else, it's respectability to a product category. The West Side and Tata's and Trent. Putting the brand behind, I'm not talking about the product that they will sell, but behind the category as such.
Yeah, it's a bigger positive for that category, because people are, and suddenly you have a big name that's coming in there.
Otherwise, you try giving, not a natural diamond to a lady. I'm sure you'll get interesting reactions. But maybe that could change, and I think,
No, but the question is, can you tell? No, because you can't make out the difference, apparently, right? Yeah. I think resale, there is some issue. There's no resale value, etc.
And also, I think lab-grown diamonds in the recent past, the pricing correction was nearly 30-40%.
Oh, yeah.
We will try to find out more about that.
And that has caused a correction in some of the real diamond prices.
Indeed.
Nigel has done the homework.
Yeah, and should be on that point of gifting the lady, never diamonds, if at all, SIPs, bigger amount of SIPs.
Oh, okay, fine.
Nigel, live a little. I mean,
Practice what I preach.
Deven, thanks for waiting. Now, one of the big movers yesterday, I don't know if you want to add more to I think Deven has bought diamonds, lots of them.
I haven't watched the diamond. My wife definitely buys. I'm not a person, I think, expert on this. But it's the strategy which I like most about, I think, in your conversation which you mentioned. See, as a house of Tatas, I think they are basically creating a very systematic, I think, approach in selling. The lab-grown diamond, if you mix it up with the natural diamond and sell under the Tanishq brand, probably I think you're inviting big trouble. Out here, I think they're creating a separate brand altogether under Trent. And I think that is what is more important because it is more of a consumer product. So from a business perspective, I find that this strategy is a very smart strategy. Of course, how it will play out in times to come, I think we'll have to wait and see. But I think don't mix up the lab-grown with the natural diamond. That is one key learning that we have understood in this game.
Talking about getting into trouble, I got into trouble. My wife has just messaged me. Why no diamond?
What is the SIP business?
What about why SIPs and no diamonds?
You better answer that message. In the meantime, Deven, on Trent per se, you know, the thing is we talk about catching a falling knife. This is like catching a shooting higher rocket, right? I mean, what a move, what a story. The stock is up 300% already in the last 1 year and a lot more if we extrapolate. And I think the issue that investors face is that how do you still enter? If you have it, great. Would you advise an entry now or anything else in that space, if not Trent, some of its other peers maybe?
So it's always, I think, a big challenge to buy something which is, I think, on an expensive valuation. And we are not the ones who are basically chasing these expensive valuations. So certainly, I think I wouldn't be chasing one. Comfort is definitely remaining higher with what Reliance's retail format is doing. Over there, I think they are continuously expanding the footprint on the ground. They have created the omni-channel model. They are getting into commerce. They are having their own brands. They are 7.5 to 8% EBITDA margin. I think every item in the tick box, I think, is working good for this company. Of course, it is part of Reliance industry. But I think if it is a separate company, I think there is a better case to buy this particular company, I would say.
You know, Deven, quickly, if you can address another name, right? Paytm went up 14% yesterday. So it basically reversed all of the losses that it had seen when the market was correcting. And volumes were humongous as well. I think it was the second or the third largest volume traded name yesterday. Just your thoughts here?
So I think being studying the subject fundamentally, Prashant, I think we have to discover, I think, where exactly his business model is moving. I think whatever the loss-making propositions were there, I think they're getting out of the business, which is a good sign. Whether existing format in which they are operating currently, whether it will start making profit, answer is not available. So honestly speaking, I think the market keeps on going up and down. I think that is something which I don't understand much. But the fact remains that I think I'm not getting the clarity on its business model either. So it is best, I think, not to touch that particular space till the time you get the clarity. At least I am not getting the clarity in this business model.
Okay, all right. Deven, good talking to you this morning. Thanks for joining in. You have a good day and we look forward to connecting again soon. Let's